What's up YouTube, Dale here from Zephyr Wargames, and today I am bringing you a test and combo video as requested for 6 Sam True Kings. So, we're going to keep this short, sweet and simple as it is a very heavy combo orientated deck. What we'll do is we'll do a test hand going first and a test hand going second. So, with all of that out of the way, please smash that like button, hit that notification bell and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more upcoming content. After a very decent shuffle and a good old cut, our opening hand of 5 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's a half decent hand. Annoyingly, your normal summon might actually have to be Kizan, but you still have plays to make even with this. So we're going to start off by using Terraforming. Yes, Drone Lock Bird is a thing, I'm well aware. Now obviously because we open up Terraforming, the best one to go for is going to be your direct route to wherever it may be, Dragonic Diagram. Now, you kind of want to keep Dojo, because Dojo is one of them cards that allows you to just spawn tokens. However, with this particular hand that we have, we're going to get more advantage by actually using it early doors. So, activate your Dojo, activate your United, and then annoyingly, normal summon your Kizan. Now, I know. It's not something you want to be doing, but unfortunately, we are going to have to. Now, obviously, on Yu-Gi-Oh, you can't use dice to maintain counters, but, you know, everything starts with a 1. We're going to use dice. So, get a counter and a counter on the Dojo and United, and now use the Dojo's effect. So, Dojo gives you the ability to send it from the field to the graveyard to special summon a 6 Sam or Xian monster from your deck, whose level is less than or equal to the amount of tokens. Now, obviously, we have 1, and our best level 1 in the entire deck is, of course, going to be Fuma. Now, this is where we're going to gain as much advantage as possible. You need to be a little bit careful when you activate Diagram. Keep in mind that United is now at 2. If you want to, you can do the draw now. It's probably going to be worth it, because if you draw into more Uniteds, then you can activate them again. If you don't draw into anything, well, the only one you don't want to draw into is Kizans, because that's when you'll lose a Fuma pop. So now you're kind of in the dilemma of, do you United or do you just go Diagram? Now, if you go Diagram, the idea is that you're going to try and add the True King you want before you draw into the True King you don't want. And then, of course, you're going to get the summon of the Kizaru. The only risk of drawing a card is if you draw Kizaru. So we're going to activate Diagram. No, but we're going to activate United. There we go. We're going to draw 2. Don't be a Kizaru. Don't be a Kizaru. Kizan, winning. Okay, that'll do. So now what we're going to do here is you want to do Diagram, you want to pop your Fuma, you're going to resolve the Diagram, and you're going to summon, search out the Mariamne, because now you could go for a Lithosang because you've got 2 Earths, but with this, we're actually going to search out a Fuma, so you're in a better position anyway. You then activate Fuma's effect, and Fuma is going to allow you to special summon your Kizaru. Kizaru's effect will now go off, and it can add any 6 Sam monster that isn't Earth, so gratefully, Fuma is a wind. And you can see that our whole entire hand is now completely replaced. Now, it's entirely up to you. Because we're going the gas route, you ideally need to try and get into another card that can maintain tokens in order to give you the max loop off of the Battle Shogun. Because at the moment, if we were to make Battle Shogun and then use his effect, you're then not only going to be able, you're only going to have gate, so you're not going to be able to complete a full loop. Another option, if you want to, is you can use the Kizan and Kizaru, and you're going to go into Isolde. Now, what Isolde's going to do here is I'm going to use Isolde's effect to add, just because you've got one, and I usually go for Kageki, because I've already used my normal summon, I'm not going to normal summon again this turn. You then use Isolde's effect. Now, this is why I kind of prefer to add the sword, so I constantly maintain hand advantage, but it really doesn't matter. So we're going to send Living Fossil, and you've got a couple of options here. You can go for, wherever he may be, you can go for the Renard, and the benefit of the Renard is it lets you regain the Fuma from the graveyard, which is absolutely fine. Alternatively, you special summon out the Fuma, so you've got your options there. Renard's effect lets you add back the Living Fossil. You're going to activate the Living Fossil, and you're going to bring back your Fuma. And the reason you're going to do this is you're actually then going to activate the Mariamne's effect. Now, if you want to be getting into a rank 9, you can actually destroy the Brastos, but you can save that for a little bit later on. Because what you're going to be able to do here is you're going to destroy both the Fumas. Summon down the Mariamne. The Mariamne is going to get the additional effect to look at your opponent's, or mill the top cards of your opponent's deck, while also being able to trigger both the Fumas. So off of the first Fuma, making sure that the last thing to happen is the Kizaru summon. That's the very important thing. So as you resolve the chains backwards, go 3 of the Mariamne, and then on the new chain, you'll go Fuma as 1, Fuma as 2. So the 2 Fuma will go for Hatsume, the 1 Fuma will go for Kizaru, because then the last thing to happen is that Kizaru is summoned. Kizaru's effect will now trigger. Now this is the issue, but this is also the benefit of why we play, wherever it may be, the legendary. Because at this exact moment in time, we can't add an earth, we can't add a fire, we can't add a water or a wind. So you add a dark. Nice and easy. Now, when you normal or special with 6 Sam, which you're going to get off of the legendary, again, you're in a very good position. So what you want to do here is you need to use two warriors, including the 6 Sam, well, Kizaru and Isolde. And you're going to go into your Battle Shogun, making sure that both the zones that Battle Shogun points to is completely open. The best thing about this one as well, keeping in mind, is you've got Ronaldo on the board. You've also still got Hatsume's effect. So because you want to use, if you want to use Barastos, you can actually use Hatsume's effect to banish 2 from the graveyard, summon back a Fuma, and then you can go pop, pop, get another summon off of Fuma, which can be something like a Gemba, which is a level 2 tuner, and then of course you're going to have another Barastos down. Now, you don't need to rush into doing this because you've still got the ability of Battle Shogun, you've still got your Kizan and everything else. Keeping in mind as well that I completely missed it, that if this card is link summoned, you get to discard a card. So that's where your random Kageki comes into play. So you can now get rid of this to get your gate. So do the link summon first, then obviously you've got the destruction. So you link summon that, you're going to get the, where is it? The very busted, broken gate of the 6 Sam. Now this is where you're going to need to maintain your token advantage. So straight away, you can summon down the Kizan, because if you can try a 6 Sam monster, boom, boom, you can special summon it. So straight away, this is now going to get 2, and your Battle Shogun is going to get 1, because you summoned it to a zone it points to. Now obviously you do need an additional, and that's where the Legendary Seeker of the 6 will come in, because when you normal or special with 6 Sam, which we did, you get to special summon this card. So now your Battle Shogun is going to top out at 2, your gateway is now going to be at 4. So now what you want to do is you want to make sure you use the 2 off the Battle Shogun, because we're going to put more on it in a minute, and 2 off of the gateway to add back the Kizan from the start. Now obviously this isn't always going to be guaranteed, but because you've got Barastos and you've got Agamazoo, you can very easily just add back Fuma. You're then going to overlay these 2, and this is why we play the Shadow of the 6 Sam, because it's another 6 Sam monster that will also allow you to trigger this to get it up to 4 and put 1 on the Battle Shogun. And again, we're just going to loop, keep going and keep going. So Kizan's going to summon down. We're going to get this up to 2. This is going to go up to 6 now. Again, if you want to make sure you're regaining as much resource as possible, especially when you've got the True Kings in play, that's when you're going to start using your graveyard's effects. Bring it back from your graveyard. Only at the point where you're happy with everything you have. Like you can very easily just go 2 and 2, put this down to 4, and start deck thinning, basically. We want to go for a Grandmaster, and then you've got 1 more Kizan to go. So you could in theory use the 4 here if you want to. Keep in mind, as soon as you start linking these off and putting them to the grave, you've got to then keep space free for another 6 Sam to keep going. So that's one thing you're always going to need to keep in mind, is make sure you leave out enough space possible. So let's go early doors for Appaloosa, just because we can. So 1, 2, 3, 4 with different names gives you a 4 negate Appo. Now we've obviously locked out a Battle Shogun zone, so that's something you need to be very careful of. But that's kind of the option we had. So we've locked that zone, and then you get the ability to special summon this as well. So you special summon Grandmaster. This goes up to 1. This goes up to 6. You remove. Technically, you don't need to remove the 1 from there, but doesn't really make much of a difference. You take away the 4 from here, so put this back down to 2. Add the Kizan. Now, obviously, at this moment in time, because we don't have that other card that's going to constantly keep stacking tokens for us, or counters, however you want to present it, you've got to be very careful with the Kizan. The idea is that you want to get to 4 monsters to go into a Saruja and get rid of this, and that's when you're trying to get to more tokens off the gateway. So this is where you need to start building. So we're going to special down the Kizan. This is going to put this up to 4. And then it's all about where you've got your numbers. So we can go Hatsume. Hatsume can then special summon back Fuma by banishing. Let's get rid of Shadow, the 2 shadows. Bring back Fuma. Then Then, of course, you've got the ability for Barastos. So Barastos can pop Hatsume and Fuma, summon itself down. Then use the effect of Fuma to special summon from the deck. Now, you've already gone through your Kizarus. So the next one is really going to be about whether you want a tuner in the form of Gemba, and that's going to depend if you want to go for a synchro play. Now, the synchro plays available to us at the moment are 6 or a 7. If you can adapt it to a 5, you've also got the ability to go into Denglong. Not to mention that Denglong can adapt levels as well. But you've also got Barastos, which is basically unidentified fodder now. You got to remember that you've summoned off the Gemba as well, so this goes up to 6. So now, before you make the link summon into your Saruja, make sure you take 1 off of there, and then annoyingly, you're going to have to take 3 off of here. We should have gone through all our Kizarus. There we go. Kizan, sorry, so we add a Kizan back. And then you just need to make sure you leave a 6 Sam on the board, which you can very easily do with the Gemba. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 with different names. You go into Saruja. Saruja's effect's going to let us draw 4, put 3 back. Dojo, that's what we wanted. Smoke Signal, United, and a Smoke Signal, broken. Ultimately, Smoke Signals can go back because... actually, no, we kind of want the Smoke Signals. Agamazu can go back. I don't think we need any more of these. So that's 1. I can put back... I kind of want both the Smoke Signals. I should be going for what I know we're going to need in order to complete the loop. So in theory, I should really be putting those 3 back. Appaloosa still has 4. There you go. So we'll put back Kizan, United, and Vanisher, because obviously you can add the Kizan later on. That's not an issue. You're going to activate both the Smoke Signals, obviously separately. And then you're obviously going to want to add a Shunai and a Mizuho. Shuffle this up. Now I know you're like, well, you can't special summon any more monsters. Well, Saruja does that for you. So you activate the Dojo. You special summon down the Shunai. This will then put 1 on the Dojo and we'll put 2 on the Gateway, putting that up to 5. And then because you control the Shunai, you can special summon down the Mizuho. This is then going to put this up to 2. This will then go up to 7. But you're going to take two tokens off of this. You can take 2 off the Dojo. And it's going to allow you to add another 6 Sam. And that's when you're going to add your Shunai. And then you're just going to constantly keep looping resource. So you control Mizuho, special summon this down. This goes up 1. This goes up to 7. So this is now going to be maxed out. So I'll tell you what, I'll swap it over for this. Definitely always worth having a 20-sided dice, if not more, when you're playing 6 Sams. Now the best thing about this is, the idea is you're supposed to use the effect. So you're supposed to go pop 1, pop the other. And then because they both resolve, you add 1 back. And then you take away the tokens to add back the Mizuho, and then you special summon down. So every time you do this, you're getting 6 counters, and you burn 4. So that's kind of the match you're going to work is. You're always going to be plussing 2 counters. So the idea is we're now going to scrap the counters because we're going to say we've got unlimited... You can go as long as you want. I believe there is an official ruling. I don't think I've ever seen it officially. But I believe you can say to your opponent, I'm going to repeat this loop until I have 10,000 tokens on each. And I go, right, okay, fine, well, I'm not going to make you do this 10,000 times. Because you could very easily do this for 39 minutes and then make Cowboy. Like, it's just degenerate. But the idea is you keep doing this loop, you stack your tokens, and then you've got the ability to just go, all right, okay, cool. So we're going to add back Kizan, which is going to be a free summon. I'm going to add back Samurais. Grandmaster is going to be a free summon, another Kizan, and my other Kizan as well. Wherever it is. Did I leave a Kizan in deck? This is the one downside of the deck, is you burn through your deck like no tomorrow because you just search everything. So we've got nothing left. But then you're putting your opponent in a position where there's no way they finish the game off. So then, because we've got the Gemba out, we actually have the ability to go into Denglong. And then the idea is that Denglong can then get you pillars, and you've got a pillars protection. You've then also got the ability, should you want to go into your Xian. So either or, however you want to do it. You go Xian, you go Denlong. Dojo is still active. So you've got so many tokens on the Dojo that you just activate it at a point. Now, Kunin 1 is special from the main deck, so you've got to make sure you've got 1 left. And I believe the one we've got left in deck is 1 Fuma, which is a tuner, believe it or not. So you can then actually pop this. So let's say we pop the Dojo. We'll summon out Fuma. There we go. You've obviously got the ability to sync off certain cards as well. But you can just go, okay, cool, do these, go into Herald. I could have very easily, if I wanted to, gone Denglong, and then you get a level 1 non-tuner, because you can adapt it to a level 9 and you've got a Baron to the board. So really is up to you. But then this is where, of course, Link monsters come into play. So you just build and you 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 go on and on. And you've got so much resource that you literally just say to your opponent, right, okay, well, I've got a Spell and Trap Negate here, I've got 4 Monster Negates here, I've got an Omni Negate here, everything sent from deck or hand to the grave is going to get banished instead. You've still got Saruja, which is going to be stacking these in strength. Yeah, so you just build on from there. And it's entirely up to you. If you're like, okay, well, I want to rank 4, then obviously you need to link these off. If you want to go for a different link route, if you want to add more to the board, it really is up to you. Like another really cool one is going into like Phoenix to protect this from being destroyed by battle. You've got Unicorn plays, you've got IP plays. It really depends on your particular type of build. So that's it for the going first combo. Well, I say combo, that was basically just like, this is what I'm saying when it's just gas. Like you just keep going and going and going and going. And then once you get to your lock or your loop, that's where it really kind of puts your opponent in a bit of an issue. Now, the one thing you are going to need to remember when you do use this deck is because you burn through so much of it, and you pretty much stack all of your searchable cards like your Xiens together, you're going to want to make sure you give it a proper decent shuffle. Otherwise, you have a very, very big chance of basically drawing into bricks. Well, not bricks, they're still usable. Like you saw in that open hand. Our open hand was Terraforming, which is pretty busted. But then we had Dojo plus a 6 Sam. Any 6 Sam would have done the exact same job because you just got to Fuma. And then United was just a nice draw to replenish our hand, which is such a great draw card for this deck. So after another decent shuffle and another good old cut. So test and go second will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, okay. That's interesting. I mean, if you're worried about Droll Lockbird, then don't activate Terraforming here. You've got what you want. The idea is that you're going to want to get to all your advantage first before you even do that. So you're going to activate the Dojo, you're going to activate the Diagram, you're going to use Diagram's effect, you're going to pop the Fuma. Doesn't pop as cost, which is both a blessing and a curse. You're going to resolve. Now, keep in mind you've got nothing particular in hand, but you definitely want to be able to pop a Wind. You're going to go for the Mariamne. Off the back of the Fuma, you're going to special summon out your Kizaru. These are like the best ones. Like before you put, as soon as you put Mariamne on the board, you can't search out Wind. So this is the best route, but annoyingly, Diagram's at 1. So obviously Dojo is going to gain a counter, whereas Kizaru is going to search you out a Fuma. So now you've added your Fuma. Again, you're in just dreamland. You can activate your Terraforming now, and the one you're going to be going for, because we now want to start, you know, gaining as many tokens as possible. The Diagram's already done its job. The issue is you're not going to be able to get it later game. But now that we've got access to Temple, we've got access to early doors, counter stack, we're just in, yeah, we're there. So you're going to activate the Temple. You've then got the ability of the Mariamne. Now, you can pop any of the cards in your hand. If you want to, you can get rid of Dojo because you've got a card that's constantly going to stack tokens for you in the form of the Temple now. And this will give you the double Fuma play. As you saw it previously with the double Fuma play, you're kind of like limited in your searches, but you still get plays to make. So it's entirely up to you. You can get rid of either of these because, again, you can loop them back to the hand. It doesn't really make much of a difference how you do this. So if you want to stave the Dojo, do it that way. If you don't, you just get rid of it nice and early and give you the Fuma. There we go. Keep in mind we haven't normal jet either. So Mariamne, pop these two, summon this down. Double Fuma, again, first Fuma, get yourself Hatsume. Second Fuma, well technically the first Fuma, gets you Kizaru. Kizaru's effect to add. Now obviously again, it can't add wind, earth or water, but it can add dark. So we're going to add the legendary secret. And now it's entirely up to you. As long as you're going to use 2 warriors, you're good to get into Isolde. So 2 Kizarus gets you into Isolde. Isolde's effect will let you add, and this is going to allow you to add just fodder, so Kageki. And then you're going to use her effect to send, which will send the living fossil, and then summon out Renard. Renard then adds back the living fossil, and you can now save the living fossil. You don't need to use it right away. So you can save it for later points. You now use the ability of Hatsume. Now again, what makes this really kind of cool is you can banish 2 6 sounds from the grave. and then you get to target 6 Sam in the graveyard, accept itself, and special summon it. So you can actually bring back the Kizaru, but again, when you look at the board, we've got fire, wind, water, and earth. By the time he comes back, there's actually nothing we can search, so it'd be a waste of bringing him back. Bringing back the Fuma can give you an early door negate. So you banish a Kizaru, like you don't need to worry about that now. You can banish a Fuma. Now, you need a 6 Sam monster. That's the important thing, is you need a 6 Sam monster to do something. So you can now use Fuma plus the Mariamne and get you into a very early doors Baron. And again, put Baron here to keep these 2 zones free. You can then use Hatsume now that she's used her effect. You go into Isolde. Keep in mind that every single time as well we've summoned a 6 Sam, we're going to be getting stuff on the Temple. So Temple's had Kizaru, it's had Fuma, so it's on at least 2, I believe. Have we done anything more? Hatsume, Kizaru, and Fuma. So it should be on 3. So there we go. It's just going to constantly keep going up. It's now going to go on to 4. Keep in mind that on this point as well, you're going to use the Battle Shogun, so use the card you added, and this is going to let you get Gateway. There we go. Activating the Gateway, and now it's time to plus like mad. So luckily we've already got the 4, so that's all you really need, but because we've also got the Living Fossil, you can actually start this early. So we're going to activate the Living Fossil. Let me just double check what I've got left in the deck. I'm trying to remember what I've got left in the deck. Yep, cool, fine. So Living Fossil can now bring back the Kizaru. Critical with this card, but you banish it when it leaves the field, so that's absolutely fine. Just double check. I think Fuma is just if it's destroyed. Yeah, just if it's destroyed, which is cool. So then what you're going to do is you're going to use Kizaru's effect. Kizaru cannot add earth, wind, or fire, but it can add water. So you can add the Shunai. There we go. Keep in mind as well, Gateway is now on 1, whereas Temple is now on, I completely put this in the wrong place as well, 5. This will then trigger Battle Shogun, so Battle Shogun will now be on 1 as well. So you've also got the ability, we're going to save the Legendary, we don't need to worry about that now. So you can remove 4, so you can remove 1 from the Gateway, 1 from the Battle Shogun, and then 2 from here. Again, you're going to constantly loop now, so you're in a good place. So you're now going to add Keyzan, special Keyzan, gain, 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 take away 4, Keyzan, overlay these 2, now it doesn't get banished, 6 Sam, so this now flips, gain, 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 take off of there, keep going, so you get another 6 Sam, there we go, Grandmaster, and then you special on down Grandmaster, gain, 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 search out Keyzan once you've taken everything off. And now you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 with different names. So 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're worried that you're not going to get another 6 Sam to the board, or you want to use the summon off of Saruja for something different, then you make sure you summon down the Keyzan before you get rid of all of these. And that will then allow you to gain, gain. And then you go into a 4 Saruja. Saruja, draw 4, put 3 back. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, doesn't matter. Put back 1. I'm going to keep all Uniteds. I want to keep all 4 of these just to get greedy. So we'll put back 1, 2, 3. There we go. So these can all go back because we're just going to add them anyway. So you can now use the ability of, actually, where are you? Activate United, Smoke Signal. Smoke Signal adds Shunai, effect to Skuldred, special on this down. And then gain, 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 gain. And then take away 4, add Mizuho, special on down Mizuho, gain, 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 take away 4, add Shunai, gain, 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 gain. Well, special, gain, 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 gain. And now you're just going to loop. Now, if you want to start digging into the True Kings, you can do. It's absolutely fine. I would advise before you start doing that, if you want to guarantee your draws are going to be like the max value, then just search out all of your 6 Sam monsters, which we only have Gemba left, which is pretty funny. And then the idea behind this is, let's add this, we'll use both the Uniteds, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only so much we can destroy. Look at our hand, bro. Massive. Full of everything. And yeah, like I said, it's now entirely up to you on how you want to end your board. The only thing we're missing is a tuner. So I don't believe we've got any Fumas left in the main deck, so Monster Reborn is going to bring back the Fuma from the graveyard. There's no way of getting Gemba to the board, but there will be ways to start triggering effects and everything else we need to. So if you want to look at your opponent's extra deck, you can actually Lithozag them, which is pretty funny. So you get rid of both the Keyzans, look at your opponent's extra deck and go, ooh, that's a nice couple of cards there. Boom, 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 boom. You can then add back the Keyzans and the Grandmaster. Don't forget as well, you can also Monster Reborn this off of the back of the Gateway. So again, fat stack hand. Boom. And then it's just all about clearing space off. So once you've completed the loop, these are all inconsequential. You don't need to worry about them so much. The issue you will have is they need to be different names to Appaloosa if you want to get a full negate. So you can go 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Full negate Appo. You still maintain a 6 Sam, so you just go special, special, special. Gain, 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 gain. Keep in mind, this is actually quite important though. So, face-up monsters your opponent controls is 100 attack for each Bushido counter on this card. So you can make this contain like, I don't believe there is a max. You can make this contain like 3,000 counters. So like your opponent's always going to be on 0 until they get rid of that. Like up to 5,000. Yeah, so again, it's all about trying to Monster Reborn a tuner if you want to make the right play. So like literally, if I hold this back, I'll show you the Denglong play this time actually. So use Monster Reborn, bring back Fuma. There we go, bring back, oh, that's not Fuma, that's Hatsume. Where are you? Fuma. You then can go Herald, if that's going to be more effective for you, or just for the exact reason I wanted to show you this, you go Denglong, and then Denglong will give you the ability to search out pillars, so then you'd get the pillars, and you'd set the pillars along there, so you've got a counter trap set up, you've got the full negate Appo, you've still got the ability to summon down the Keyzan, don't know why Grandmaster's over there, so if you wanted to go for more rank 4s, you've got the option to do that. If you're trying to push into something like a Selene into access code for the next turn, you just make sure you keep a Fuma on the board or just a level 1 monster, and then you go from there. So keep in mind as well, these also have a cool effect that while you control 2 or more other 6 sound monsters, this card gains 300 attack, so they all become 2100 base. You've got the ability to remove counters from this. The 6 sound monster gains 500 attack to the end of the turn, so you can just go, cool, if you're going second, which we are, not only is our opponent losing like a million bajillion attack, you've also then got the ability to go, right, okay, cool, take all the counters over this, give this card like 50,000 attack, and then just go, okay, cool, attack, game. Like, don't even need to go Appaloosa, you don't need to go Denglong. I kind of went the defensive route, kind of always resorted back to that, but that could have very easily just gone. So let's take this back. So let's say there's the Keyzan, one Keyzan's in hand, Keyzan and Fuma. So then how you get into access code is you just turn this into Relinquish Anima. And then you can go 1, 2, 3 into Selene. Because keep in mind that the Relinquish is a spellcaster. So then all you then need to do after that point is you just go, okay, cool, Selene plus Legendary 6, access code gain 3k. And access code is going to have a light from Selene, a dark from Relinquish, an earth from Skuldread, or an earth from the 6 Sam. So you've got 3 pops on that one. You've also got another light in the form of Isolde if you want to use that instead of Selene. So you've got 3 pops off of access code, you've got a pop off of Baron, and you're still not even done. Because as soon as you've done all that, you can then use Gateway. And you're like, you've got no 6 Sams left. You go, yeah, no worries. Gateway, bring back a Shien monster. Boom. I got told off for this last time, but let me just double check. Yeah, Shien is all one word. So you can't bring back, which is real bull crap, is you can't bring back Shien because it has she space N, but you can bring back this one because it's all one word. So you bring this back and you go, okay, cool. Special Keyzan, special Grandmaster, take off tokens, Brazilian attack. That's it. Like, I've said this before, and I know a lot of people, I'll guarantee you, I almost guarantee you, there'll be a comment that goes, this deck just loses to draw. It's like, yes, it does. I mentioned this before, the deck is like all gas. It's the only way the two, like you play so much of each. Like the most annoying thing is, you need to try and keep it as close to 40 as possible for consistency. but the deck could really do with being a 60 card deck. Like, you burn through resource so quickly. It is a 1-turn glass cannon, all out, let's go. But it's very fun. Very, very fun. And what made it good was like VFD, as degenerate as VFD is, it was kind of cool to have VFD because it gave you that ability to kind of lean back on a very defensive and very oppressive monster. If you did get stopped, you still had an outlet, or something like that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope this has kind of filled your, not curiosity, well, curiosity a little bit as well, but also filled your need for this type of content to show you how this deck can now operate. Like I said, previously it was like get to VFD early, lock your opponent out from Nibiru, you're good to rock and roll. Whereas this one is just like get gas, get to Baron early rather than VFD, and that will give you the protection from Nibiru. Anyway, for now, thank you so much for watching. If you do like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, as absolutely always, stay safe, and of course, happy dueling.